Hey, Todd here, Center Valley Customs. Welcome back to those of you that follow the channel. Welcome to everyone else. So, today we're on the Camaro. It's already half ripped apart. That is because, in the last video, if you haven't seen it, please go back and watch it. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, we dropped the tank out of there, cleaned it, and then put a new fuel sending unit in, and then installed it back up inside here. We used marbles to clean it. I don't know that I'd recommend marbles. I would probably use like bolts, nuts. I've seen people use rocks, but something I think that has a sharper edge than a marble that just rolls around. Anyway, so today what the plan is, so we got tubular lower control arms, tubular Panhard bar, I got sway bar bushings, and shocks. Also, I got a piece of tubing over yonder, 3-inch tubing, to delete the catalytic converter. Don't worry about those FlowFX Flowmaster mufflers. So today it is ridiculously hot, like 90s, and you sweat just standing. But anyway, today our plan is to start with the sway bar links, bushings, things, because these are just completely blown out of here. So my plan is I'm going to nip this stud off right at the nut, right above the nut anyway. That way I don't have to try to run this nut all the way out of here if it even wants to come out of there. Chances are it's going to break in here somewheres. And this sleeve is probably rusted right tight to the bolt. So it'll take me 6 hours to get both of those out. But that's where we're going to start. So, yeah, let's get some work done. All right, let's see what we can do here. Might be metric, but I'm not really sure. Ouch, that's hot. Ouch, that hurts. Oh boy, look at that. Ouch, that's still hot. Oh, I might have to cut this nut. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, now should I leave this all apart and probably put the ones in the bottom in first before I put the other ones in? Okay, go to the other side, do the other side. Okay, now these bolts guaranteed are not going to come out. Stud's probably going to break, which is okay maybe, I don't know. Put a little lube on those, see what happens. Start in the front, I guess, I don't know. Wow, I thought for sure those would have broke. Come on. Give me it. Ooh, that's hot. Oops, that ain't on. Oh, that thing moved. Okay, that's all right. I'm tightening it. Uh-oh. Now we might be in a pickle. There we go. Broke off. Okay. Now think I might put the new one on here. Just because. Is that just an exhaust clamp? Oh, that's hot. Okay. So let's try to get this off here. Okay, let me grab a new one. Okay, so this is the new kit. Comes with the brackets for these. These are for the sway bar, whatever I just took off. End links, some washers. I'm not sure what those are for. Oh, probably for those bolts. But what it did not come with is it did not come with U-bolts. So I measured that axle before I went to town earlier today and found out, gotcha, that the axle is a 2.5 inch diameter axle. So I bought whatever 2.5 inch exhaust clamps, hoping that this is going to be long enough to install everything. So we're about to find that out right now. It also comes with some grease here that you put inside of here. Doop. That way it doesn't squeak. Squeak. So I'll put a little bit of that in there while we put this together. All right, I'm going to try to push this over top of this. Actually, before I do that, I will put some of this grease in here. Should be more than enough. Now it's more than enough. Okay, squeeze this around this, just like so. Cough, flip this around. There's a mosquito somewhere close. Can't see it though. There it is. Gotcha. Okay, another one. Gotcha. Okay, so now we can put this U-bolt over top of this. Okay, and this goes up inside here, and it's got a little notch in it for this piece that's welded on here. Put it kind of halfway in between that. Okay, good. Now we'll take this thing, hopefully, this all lines up. Something's twisted. Am I too far? Maybe. I think so. Let's come back this way a little bit. Maybe once I get this together, I can slide it around. Is my axle twisted? Ouch. There we go. Okay, we might have just enough thread. So maybe I will not put the washer in. Oh, you. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Hold that up. This time. Yeah, no washer. Ain't gonna have enough. There we go. There we go. Okay. So that side's in. I'm not going to tighten it up yet. I'm going to wait until I get everything together before I tighten anything up. So now, jump over to the other side over here, do this one, then we'll move to the links, end links. Now that we got the axle bushings in, we'll do the sway bar end links. So I've had this apart together a few times trying to get this bolt straight, but it's not really working for me. But anyway, so we'll put this in here. The bolt washer bushing that goes in the sway bar. So take another bushing with this centering piece, whatever you want to call it, down. Another washer, spacer, another washer. Then the bushing with the this, whatever you want to call this, centering piece up. Stuff that through the hole. Like so. Another washer or bushing with the centering thing down. Get it in that hole. Put this on here. Now the nut. Okay, so that's that. So go to the other side quick and start tightening things up, I guess. Now that I got this, I'm just going to center these slots with this, make sure it's in there. Make sure that like notch is holding this bracket. I'm just going to snug them up. I wonder if I should try to push it out this way a little bit. Okay. Now let's see if it'll go in that groove. Center this up as best I can. Looks all right. I don't know. Okay, that looks good. I got all the sway bar bushings and stuff tight. Now I'm gonna go after these lower control arms. It's just one, or not one, two 18 millimeter, not 18 millimeter, M something, 18 millimeter head. Zip these off quick. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know what the axle's gonna do. Nothing? Okay, that's good. Ooh, that's hot. Set this here. And now the other one, if I can get on it. This is going to be fun. Oh boy. Huh. Well, I figured that would be in there a little tighter. All right. Let's compare that to the ones that I bought. So this is the lower control arm I just took off. You can see it's bent here. I don't know how that happens. I don't know if somebody tried jacking up on here or what the deal is. There is some sort of inner structure in here that somebody or they put in to, you know, make them stronger, but obviously it didn't work. These are the lower control arms that I bought. This came in a kit. The brand is BMR. I've never heard of them before. eBay special stuff, you know how I roll. I was actually kind of surprised when I was looking for lower control arms for this car. I didn't find a lot of brands that make stuff, which is weird. I mean, there's enough stuff out there, but BMR and UMI, something like that, were like the two big brands that I could find. But yeah, I think I gave like around $200 for the lower control arms and the, not Pitman arm. Why can I never remember that? Whatever it's called. Panhard bar. There we go. These are not adjustable. You can buy adjustable ones. I didn't because I don't have any reason to. I just want them to not be bent. That's all. So let's get this stabbed in there, and I'll knock out the other side quick, and then we can put the Panhard bar stuff back in and go from there. Let's see if I can do this without getting knocked out this time. Go on this side maybe. Be easier. Now, you want to make sure when you put these in that you put the grease zerks down. Otherwise, you can't grease them. Not that I ever would. So. Okay, here's this one. Put the nut on it. So put the nut on it. I might need this hammer. I will probably need that, and I will probably need this. Get all this out of my way. I need a lift and a bigger shop. My plan someday is to tear down my pull shed back there and build a nicer one, but unfortunately they cost money. Money I don't have. Okay, where'd my bolt go? I can't see what I'm doing. Probably should have done this one first. Go up. Come on. Beautiful. Okay. All right, tighten this up. Not the wrench. Okay, tighten up. Beautiful. Get this side. Tight. Beautiful. Get the other side done. I'll knock that side out. Then we'll move on to the Panhard bar. Gotcha. There we go. Got that bar in there. Looks pretty sweet. Other side also. So now we can move on to the sway bar, or not sway bar, Panhard bar. So there's this piece here that goes from this pad down to here on the top. So from there to there, and then this Panhard bar will go from here to there. I'm surprised that they didn't send with this kit, like this isn't like a tubular bar. Weird that it's like a flat piece. I'm surprised they don't have something else to put up there instead of this. But that takes 3 bolts. Put those 3 bolts in up there, 1 bolt over here, and bada bing, bada boom. Throw this in, 2 bolts, done deal. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hey, new day. So yesterday as I was putting that Panhard bar in, GoPro died and I was just done for the day anyway. I was hot, hungry, and whatever. So I'll show you what that looks like. Beautiful. Looks good. So now we're going to replace these rear shocks. So I picked up a set of just normal Duralast shocks, or nothing special, cheap ones, whatever. So what we're going to start with is pulling these shocks out. On the bottom, they bolt through, I don't know if you can see, they bolt through right here. And then on the top, they come through the floor on the inside, like that. So I pulled all that carpet back. How I'm going to get that back down in there, I have no idea. But for starters, I'll pull those 2 nuts off the top and then crawl around underneath again. I'm getting really sick of crawling around on the ground underneath vehicles. I feel like the last handful of things I've done has been on the ground rolling around. And unfortunately, it's not going to end anytime soon. So let's get those nuts pulled off the top, and then we can, again, roll underneath. All right, give this one a zip. Perfect. Well, this works better outside. Come on. Okay. Perfect. Move to the bottom. All right, see if we can get this shock out of here. Beautiful. Keep that nut. That should just slide out of here. If I had a pry bar. Okay, one down. Okay, that's good. Put my washer and my bushing on here. Slide this up in there. Ah, there we go. Washer, nut, impact. That's plenty. That's too much. Oh, is it? That's a little much, I think. Yeah, hopefully it don't fall off. Okay, now what we need to do is jack this axle up a little bit so that the shock actually bottoms out up here. So right now, it's just kind of floating. Now let's put these on. This goes on here, like so. This goes on here like so. And this goes on here like so. So what's the chances of this shock not spinning when I start to tighten this down? Let's find out. Is it going? It's going. I don't know how tight to go, but that looks fairly decent. Give her a couple more. Why not? There. Perfect. Nice. Okay. The other side. Perfect. I'll give her one more, just because. Okay, now it's perfect. Looks about even. Okay, so now I'll struggle with trying to get this carpet on. There's some foam pieces, wherever they went, here, that go on here. This must be for the other side. No, I just have it the wrong direction. Goes on there. There's one for the other side, and then this will all fold over and get tucked underneath here. I'm probably gonna have to pull this screw out. I don't know. I'll figure it out on my own. All right, we got shocks in. That's all good. Now we're actually gonna work backwards a little bit, and I'll show you why. I took that bracket out and I took that Panhard bar down because, as you can see, we got a little hole in our exhaust there. So what my plan is I'm going to take a piece of 3-inch, cut it in half down the center here, so that I only have half of this. Hopefully that'll go over the pipe and then I can weld around it. Now it's on a radius, so I'm not sure how well this is actually going to work. I might have to cut some pie slices in it or something and try to like roll it, but this is probably going to take me a good hour of messing around, so I'll bring you back when I figure out how I'm going to do this. So this is the piece I made. It's just a piece of 3-inch cut in half, and then I put a whole bunch of cuts in it. So my plan is to stick this on the pipe, on the radius, tack the 2 center pieces, and then try to bend it around. Do I think this is actually going to work? Probably not, but I'm going to give it a go, see what it does. Well, I got my patch done, and I'm in no way, shape, or form proud of this. So if you have any children in the room, I would suggest covering their eyes or making them leave the room, because it's going to get bad. There it is. Absolutely horrific. Looks terrible. I ended up having to put another piece on the top and another piece on the bottom, because when I started welding on the bottom and here, it just blew out and burnt all through because it's so thin. But it is what it is. It's covering a hole, and it's not going to leak anymore. So yeah. So moving on to the catalytic converter, I think I have a plan on what I want to do. I don't know if it's going to work. Odin, you need to go away. Okay, so I unbolted this when I did the gas tank. So there's a flange like that on both sides. Now there's an exhaust hanger on this end that bolts into these two holes on this side. So I would like to keep that flange so that I can keep the exhaust hanger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, if I can get my arm right, and I'm going to obviously unbolt this cat, drop this down, and then essentially put this in here. So this end should slide over this tube, and then this end I'm going to smash down to an oval to weld inside this flange once I cut it off of this exhaust, whatever, off of that catalytic converter. Hopefully that works. I think it will. Maybe. We're going to find out here. I would prefer, I don't know. I got to get this all taken apart and then we'll see what we got. Well, I got this catalytic converter off. Hello. It's not really a catalytic converter. There's nothing in there except for, I think this car might have had an air pump at one time or something, and I think that's what that is, because inside here there's a tube and it's got a bunch of little holes in it. So I'm wondering if that was like an air pump and it pumps air into the exhaust so that it can pass emissions or whatever. I have no idea. But regardless, you can see where it's all cracked here, broke. So that's probably where my exhaust leak was coming from. So at least I didn't do this for nothing. So I'm gonna cut this flange off on this end because this end's got broken bolts in it. So I'll cut that end off and then we'll try to smash that pipe, stick it in there and weld it up tight. Hey, it's been a few days since I've worked on this. I think I left off making this filler piece for the catalytic converter. My GoPro died, and apparently my little 3-pack charger thing that charges all my batteries doesn't want to charge batteries anymore. So I was battery-less. Yeah. Regardless, I made this to go in place of the catalytic converter. And then I stopped. I don't remember when I was actually working on this, but Saturday must have been. I just wasn't feeling very good. I had a headache for like a couple days. I get headaches that'll go for like 2-3 days straight, and it's miserable. But that's that. So this is what I come up with. So I cut this flange off of the catalytic converter, and then I took that pipe out, which ended up making this a lot bigger than this 3-inch piece of tubing. Troy tried to flange it out with a hammer because he told me he could, which this pipe had to move or like open up. You had to stretch it about 1 inch. And I told him it wasn't going to happen, and it didn't happen. So what I ended up doing was getting a piece of sheet metal. I don't remember what gauge this is or what thickness this is. It's probably almost 1/8 inch. I cut it, I traced out the flange, and welded it to that. And then drilled a couple holes, the holes for where it bolts together. I then welded this exhaust pipe to that and welded that flange to this on the inside, like so. This side has just got a piece of 3-inch tubing. It's actually oval to go over the pipe that goes underneath the car under there. So today we're gonna get this piece put in and then try to get this all put back on. I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do with this. I think I'm going to end up cutting this off, and then I have a 2.5 inch like adapter thing that I may weld on here. The only issue with that is the adapter that I have, it's up here. Actually, I have a couple different ones. Whoops, sorry. One of these adapters that I have is kind of loose on this pipe. It goes on, but it's not as tight as I would like it to be. So, I don't know. I don't know really what else to do. Because I don't have any other tubing that I know of. I'm gonna have to look around. Maybe I can find something that fits on there tighter, or I don't think it's even possible. Or I try to bend this back and see if I can get this to fit on that again, but I don't see that happening. So to start, let's get this bolted up on the car. One thing I am gonna do, and I don't know what I did with that either, I don't have a gasket to go between these flanges. And actually, I don't think there was a gasket regardless, but I'm actually gonna try to use this RTV, high temp RTV. I've seen other people use high temp RTV for like headers and collectors. I personally haven't. I don't know that I trust it that well, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what it does. So, I don't know. So let's get this put on, and then we can move to all that garbage that goes under there. I actually did put some of that RTV on the inside of this pipe because this is an oval, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to clamp this down. So I'm going to try to slide this on here. I'm probably going to have to pinch this tube. Oh, I won't have to. Okay, slide this on. Get my... Wow, that's... There we go. Come on, get this. Did I not just move this? Okay, so there's that. Where are my bolts? Okay, right here. So now, this RTV. Oh, let me see if I can get this up here even first. It's going to be tricky by myself. Because it wants to fall. Something like that. So this should go on here like this. Okay. So now I'll take my RTV, load this thing up, probably end up rubbing most of it off. Okay, here's my hardware. Right here. Okay, see if I can get this to meet up to this. This doesn't look right. That ain't right. Upside down, I think. Oh, maybe it is right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Might be right. All right. I gotta try to get this exhaust hanger on the other side of this, that. Okay. Now, where's my bolts again? Oh, I should have put never sees on these. Oh well, too late now. Okay, it's all bolted up. Can't get my ratchet out. Can too. Oh boy, I don't want to touch that. Oh, never mind, I got towels. Okay. Looks okay. All that bullshit crap, just use that hanger, more or less. So all that was for, just so I have an exhaust hanger. Beautiful. I might try putting a clamp on here. If anything, I might just put a tack, throw a couple tack welds on it and call her good enough. It's got silicone inside there. Hopefully it'll seal it. Well, one of my microphones quit working already. At least the microphone, external microphone, whatever. The one that you can plug into the side stopped working. But anyway, we're going to move on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set this down and hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to take this dolly and try to beat in here and see if I can flatten this out again. I'll probably do that for about an hour, and then I'll finally get sick of this, cut it off, and weld this piece on here. But I'm going to try to just straighten this out and see what happens. All right, I had this on here once, so I'll try again. I'm gonna silicone this joint too, seeing as we're doing all of them. Well, maybe I won't because it's already dry. Yep, that's good. All right, there we go. I got enough silicone on there. The Titanic went to sunk. All right, let's see. Hopefully this just slides on here, because I didn't try to test fit it after I beat on it a little more. Oh yeah. Okay, it's on there. I'm gonna try bolt that side up. If I didn't kick my bolts. Okay, tight. I'm gonna give this a couple tacks because I don't want this muffler to angle down because I like where the tip is up nice and tight to the bumper. And when I tighten this up, it falls. And I don't honestly think getting this, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this clamp tight enough for it to not fall down. So I'm just gonna throw a couple tacks on here where it's easy to get to in case I ever want to take this back off. Can I just go on the clamp? Probably not a good idea, but I'm gonna try it. All right, please take. Perfect. Okay, that's one good. All right, I'm gonna try to tighten that clamp up some more. Any bets that stud's just gonna break before I get it tight enough? I'll take that bet. Actually, I won't because I'll just stop. There, it'll never come off now. Hitting that exhaust right there. Son of a bitch. That would be why it was hanging down so far. What smells like it's on fire? Nothing, I guess. I'd like to bring this in. This pipe is really bent out. Wow. I wonder if I should pie cut this. Bring it back. If I brought it back, it would be almost perfect. Okay, I finally got this fitting how I like it, but I had to. What's going on out here? What? Put some exhaust on that thing. Jesus Lord, what are them, cherry bombs? Sounds pretty good, actually. Anyway, I couldn't get this to fit how I wanted it, so I ended up having to make some pie cuts in here and pull this pipe in because before, this pipe is kind of straight, and this one was like angled off to the side. So finally got that all adjusted how I want. I do not have an exhaust clamp to clamp that onto the muffler. So I'm just gonna throw a couple tacks on there for now. And then tomorrow or whenever I can come back and just throw a clamp on it quick. So let's finally get this thing on there because that's the last part that's gotta go on. And then we can put it on the ground. Start it and see if my exhaust leak is gone. That'll be nice. I don't know. 1/8 inch? Sure. This thing's been welding really bad lately. I don't know why. Unless I'm almost out of wire again. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. That's a good tack. Okay, I'll throw one on this side. Actually, yeah. Thought I heard somebody yell my name. There. That should be good enough. Oh yeah. Beat this up a little bit. as well give her one on the bottom. Because you know I'm never going to come back and put a clamp on this, right? Wow, that sounds terrible. Okay. 3 taps should be enough. Perfect. Let's get this thing on the ground. Hopefully this doesn't rattle up and hit that, because it's pretty tight, but it is what it is. All right, back on the ground, wheels torqued. Remember, well, you should, because I just did it, but I just straightened that pipe because it was really bent. That one's bent now. Maybe you can't tell from the camera, but this one is coming out like this. So, whatever. It is what it is. So I'm going to fire this thing up, get it out of the garage. It's like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock, so I can't be too loud. And actually, me starting this up, my wife is probably going to flip out. But I'm at least going to get this out of the garage so I can shut the door and then see if I got an exhaust leak. All right. Where are the keys? Where the hell would the keys be? I never take keys out of vehicles. I don't remember ever taking the keys out of this. Ah, I did take the keys out. They're in that thing over there. Got them. Apparently you need the keys to get the spare tire stuff out or whatever that thing is down there. I have no idea. All right, let's do this. That's gonna piss my wife right off. Can't really see, but it looks so much better with that exhaust pulled up. Before it used to hang so low, it looked stupid. And I thought about removing this exhaust like this and just putting like turn downs up above where you can't see them. You can't see nothing, but right here there used to be an exhaust leak right behind the front tire. Oh, that thing sounds good. Yeah, I'm done. Okay. Told you she'd be pissed. Hey, new day. It's actually been couple days because I got stuck at work yesterday, but again, got this outside, got that all put back together, whatnot. I don't know if you can tell because the camera looks dark, but this tip here is actually angled a little bit out, but whatever, it is what it is. At least they don't hang like 3 inches below the bumper like they used to. Looks a lot better now. I actually thought about just getting rid of those tips completely and just kind of hiding the exhaust up underneath. But I'm gonna take this thing for a drive, see if it feels any different. I can't imagine it's going to. But one thing I'm kind of looking for is whenever I would drive it and take corners, it almost feel like the back was trying to kick out, and potentially that lower control arm maybe has got the axle in there a little wonky, just enough. I doubt it. But I'm gonna hop in this thing, take it around the block, see how it feels. I'm actually thoroughly surprised. It actually does feel better. I don't know if it's the shocks or control arms or whatever, but it does feel smoother. I don't know how to really explain it. It feels like it sticks to the road a little better as far as, I don't know. It does feel better, which is weird. That or it's just all in my head because I'm actually like thinking and looking for something to be different. But I don't know, so far it's actually honestly, I think it feels like it runs a little better or rides a little better. Sounds awesome. I guarantee you my neighbors hate this thing. Just rad. These are the curves that always, I don't know, kind of feel funny when you go around them. Like you almost feel like you have to slow down. It feels like the rear end's going to kick out. No, not anymore. It's glued. It's weird. I wonder if that control arm was just bent enough. God, this thing sounds awesome. See if we can do some fun stuff. Leave the streets smoking. Woo! That thing really burns. Yeah, it burns. It's still smoking back there. Get this thing home before the police come. Well, there she is. Out there. New sway bar links, new lower control arms, new Pitman arm, not Pitman arm, damn it. Panhard bar. Can never remember that name. Panhard bar, shocks. I feel like it does drive better, but does it actually, or is it just because mosquitoes, or is it just because I'm like actually paying attention to it? I don't know, but that's all I got. I don't know what more I'm gonna do on this car. I would really like to buff it out. When it sat for the 19 years, the back end sat almost outside of this overall building, post building, and the sun beat on it for 19 years. So the rear of the car is got some fading that I'd like to try to buff out. I finally was able to ship back my headliner that I bought back in May, and they shipped me the wrong one. I finally today shipped that back so I can get the correct one. And I'll get that in it. I keep talking about putting a Sniper EFI on this car, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. I talked to some guys at a shop that did the work on my truck after I got that all put together, and they do a lot of classic cars. That's their business, is working on classic cars and that kind of thing. And they said don't do it because they've had so many of them in the shop that they can't get to run right. So I'm really skeptical on going with some sort of EFI system. I don't know. But that's that. Next video, hopefully we'll be working on the Chevelle. I did work on it yesterday a little bit off camera to get it to idle with HP tuners and whatnot. So it does idle now at least. So that's good once it gets warm. Yeah, I do have a new project vehicle. Now, some people are going to like it. I feel like most people are not going to like it. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not even sure how I feel about it. This is actually something my wife found, and long story short, it'll more or less be my wife's vehicle. So power-wise, we need to decide what we want to do. Because what I want to do probably would not be in the best interest to have her driving it. So I don't know. When we get that far, we get that far. So stick around to see what that is. I don't know when we're going to start working on that. I want to start working on it as soon as possible. Honestly, actually, Travis is coming over as we speak so we can get it off the trailer so I can start getting my eyes on it and figuring out what we all need. But I would prefer to kind of get this Chevelle out of here before I start tearing something else apart. But I'm not a patient person, so you know that's not going to happen. So that's all I got. Stick around, see what we got next. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. And I'll see you next time.